I heard my girlfriend say, "He's going to propose to me tonight. Watch how I say no and make him cry." I froze outside our apartment door, groceries in hand. My heart shattered. We had been together for 4 years. I had the ring in my jacket pocket. I walked in as if nothing had happened. Sophia was laughing on FaceTime with her college friend Samantha. "Babe, you're home early," she said, hanging up quickly. That night I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. Her words just kept replaying in my head. The plan was to propose at her parents' house during Sunday dinner. Her whole family would be there. Saturday was torture. Sophie kept asking if I was okay, touching my arm, trying to understand why I was so distant. I wanted to scream at her, to ask her why she would spend 4 years with me just to humiliate me in front of the people who mattered most. I barely slept that night either. I just stared at the little ring box on my nightstand, thinking about how excited I had been when I bought it 3 months ago. I had saved for 8 months. I had asked her dad for his permission. Like an idiot, he hugged me and said, "Welcome to the family, son." What a joke. Sunday arrived. I was numb. We drove to her parents' house and she kept talking about random things. Totally normal. She talked about her coworkers' drama, about wanting to repaint the bathroom, about her mom's new recipe she was excited to try. Every word was like a knife. How could she act so normal knowing what she was about to do? I gripped the steering wheel so tightly my knuckles turned white. Part of me wanted to turn the car around, another part wanted to confront her right there, but I kept driving. Maybe I needed to see it. I needed proof that the woman I loved could be so cruel. When we pulled into her parents' driveway, she squeezed my hand. "You've seemed stressed lately. Is everything okay?" I almost laughed. "Yeah, everything's fine. Dinner was perfect. Her mom made my favorite dish, pot roast." I just moved the food around on my plate, forcing myself to swallow a couple of bites so no one would ask any questions. Sophia's dad talked about his golf game. Her sister showed us pictures of her new puppy. Sophie laughed at something her sister said about the new puppy. I looked at her and saw a stranger. "Right, honey?" she asked, touching my arm. I hadn't heard the question. I just nodded. "See, Mom? I told you he'd like it too," Sophie said to her mother. Her mother smiled. Her father looked at me from across the table. There was pride in his eyes. Pride for the man he thought was his future son-in-law. I had the ring in the left pocket of my pants. It felt as heavy as a stone. "Daniel, would you like more salad?" Mrs. Morrison asked. "No, thank you, it's delicious, but I'm full." A lie. I hadn't eaten half my plate. Sophia squeezed my hand under the table. 3 squeezes, our secret code. It meant "I love you." We had made it up in our 2nd month of dating. I let go of her hand and picked up my glass of water. She gave me a strange look. I pretended not to notice. "Daniel," Mr. Morrison said, wiping his mouth with his napkin. "How's that project at the office going? The one you mentioned last week." "Good, we presented it on Friday. The client was satisfied." "Excellent. I always knew you were a dedicated worker." The words hurt more than I expected. This man had hugged me when I asked for his permission to marry his daughter. He had called me son. He had given me advice on investments. He had invited me to play golf, and I was about to disappoint him. Or maybe his daughter already had. "Dad, tell Daniel about the trip you two are planning," Sophie said, smiling. She was acting perfectly normal, as if nothing was going to happen, as if she hadn't planned to humiliate me in front of her entire family. Or maybe she changed her mind. She hadn't been vague on that call with Samantha. She had been very clear. "Your mother and I are thinking of Italy for our anniversary," Mr. Morrison explained. 40 years of marriage deserve something special." "That sounds incredible," I said. "Maybe you two can join us," Mrs. Morrison suggested, looking at Sophie with a knowing smile. "It would be a perfect trip to celebrate." Sophie laughed nervously. "Mom, don't start." But her mother continued. "I'm just saying it would be lovely. 2 couples. Italy, very romantic." I could feel the attention at the table. Everyone was expecting something tonight. Everyone except Sophie knew I was going to propose her. They thought she knew. Sophie's sister, Madison, cleared her throat. "Well, I think Daniel and Sophie have their own timeline. There's no rush, right?" She was the youngest, 23. She had always been kind to me. "Of course not," Mr. Morrison said quickly. Daniel is a good man. He knows what he's doing. Sophie looked at me. There was something in her eyes. Nerves, anticipation, guilt. I couldn't read her. I need to use the restroom, I announced, standing up. Second door on the left. You know the way, Mrs. Morrison said. I walked down the hallway of the house where I'd had dinner dozens of times. I passed family photos. Sophie as a little girl, Sophie at her graduation, Sophie and me at the beach last year. Madison had taken that picture. Sophie was wearing my shirt over her swimsuit. I was hugging her from behind. We looked happy. Had it been real, or was it always an act? I went into the bathroom and locked the door. I leaned against the sink and looked at myself in the mirror. I looked tired with deep circles under my eyes, my hair a bit messy, wearing the shirt Sophie had given me for my last birthday. I pulled out my phone. I had 3 texts from my best friend Marcus. Did you do it yet? Did she say yes? Congrats, man. Marcus didn't know anything. Nobody did. I opened the voice recording app. The conversation I'd recorded on Thursday was still there. I hadn't deleted it. I needed to know it was real, that I hadn't imagined it. I pressed play on low volume. Sophia's voice came through clearly. He's going to propose to me tonight. Watch how I say no and make him cry. Samantha's laugh. You're evil, Sophie. He's just been so intense lately. He needs to learn that not everything happens when he wants it to. But do you love him? Of course I do. But he needs to understand who's in control here. I stopped the recording. I had already listened to it 50 times. Every word was burned into my memory. Someone knocked on the door. Daniel? Are you okay? It was Sophie. I put my phone away. Yeah, I'll be right out. I just wanted to make sure. You've been acting weird all weekend. I opened the door. She was standing there in her blue dress, the one I bought her for her last birthday. She looked beautiful, and that made everything worse. I'm fine, just tired from work. Are you sure? Because if there's anything you want to tell me. She looked me straight in the eyes. She was looking for something, signs that I was about to propose or signs that I knew something. There's nothing. Let's go back. We returned to the table. Dessert was already served. Apple pie. My favorite. Just in time, Mrs. Morrison said. We didn't want to start without you. We ate dessert in an awkward silence. Sophie tried to make conversation, but no one was very lively. I think they all sensed something was wrong. When we finished, Mr. Morrison stood up. Daniel, can you help me take out the trash? This was my chance, the one I had planned. This was when I was supposed to tell him I was going to propose. He was supposed to clap me on the back, maybe give me a hug. I followed Mr. Morrison outside. The night was cool. October was always like this in this part of town. It's a nice night, he said, putting the bags in the bin. Yeah, it is. He turned to me. Daniel, I can tell when something's wrong. What is it? My throat tightened. This man didn't deserve to be part of this, but he was already involved. Mr. Morrison, I need to talk to you about something, but not tonight. It's about Sophie. Are you two having problems? You could say that. He frowned. I don't like the sound of that. Sophie is my daughter. If there's something you need to know, you'll know. Promise. I just need time to process some things first. Is this serious? Yes. Mr. Morrison put a hand on my shoulder. Daniel, I care about you. You're a good man. Whatever it is, I hope you two can work it out. I nodded, unable to speak. When we went back inside, Sophie was helping her mother with the dishes. Madison was playing on her phone on the couch. I think we should get going, I told Sophie. She looked at me surprised. So soon? We haven't even had coffee. I have to be up early tomorrow, an early meeting. But it's Sunday. Virtual meeting with the client in Asia. Time difference. A lie. Sophie looked at her mom, then her dad, then me. Okay, let's go. We said our goodbyes. Mrs. Morrison hugged me. Take care, Daniel, and don't work so hard. I'll try. Madison gave me a hug too. See you soon. Mr. Morrison gave me a firm, meaningful handshake. Call me if you need to talk. In the car, Sophie didn't say anything for the first 10 minutes, just stared out the window. Finally, she spoke. What was that? What was what? Your whole attitude. Your face. You barely spoke at dinner. You told my dad you two needed to talk. What is going on? I already told you I'm tired. It's not just tiredness. I know you, Daniel. Something else is happening. I gripped the steering wheel. The words wanted to spill out. I wanted to scream that I knew everything, that I had hurt her, that she had broken my heart. But I didn't, because I had a plan. Sophie, is there anything you want to tell me? She tensed up. Like what? I don't know. You tell me. I don't know what you're talking about. Are you sure? Daniel, you're scaring me. What are you implying? We hit a red light. I turned to look at her. Do you love me? What? Of course I do. Why would you ask that? I just wanted to hear it. The light turned green. I kept driving. Sophie picked up her phone. She was typing something. Probably to Samantha, probably telling her something went wrong, that I didn't propose. Good. When we got to the apartment, Sophie went straight to the bedroom. I stayed in the living room, looking at the ring box I had left on the coffee table that morning. I opened it. The ring sparkled under the lamplight, a 1-carat diamond, white gold. I had asked the jeweler to engrave our initials inside. D+S. I closed the box. Sophie came out of the bedroom in her pajamas. Are you coming to bed? In a bit. I need to check some emails. Daniel. Yeah. Are you sure you're okay? Yes, Sophie, I'm fine. She hesitated, then nodded and left. I waited until I heard the bedroom door close. Then I took out my laptop. I had work to do. I opened my email and searched for the message from my bank. Joint account statement. Sophie and I shared an account for apartment expenses. I reviewed the transactions from the last month. There were 3 withdrawals I didn't recognize. One for $500, another for $300, and another for $700. All cash, all made by Sophie. I opened a spreadsheet and started documenting. Date, amount, location. Then I opened Facebook. I looked up Samantha's profile. It was private, but there were public photos. One from 2 weeks ago. Sophie and Samantha at an expensive restaurant. I was working late that day. Another photo from a month ago. Sophie at a party. She hadn't told me about that party. I kept looking. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Sophie had accounts I didn't know about. On one of them she posted photos with me, but with strange captions. My banker boyfriend. I'm not a banker. I work in marketing. Dinner sponsored by my man. I paid. Living the life I deserve. The comments from her friends were worse. Get it while you can. That ring is going to be huge. I want one like that too, one that pays for everything. I saved screenshots of everything. Then I looked for something else. I called my friend Kevin. He works in tech. He owes me a favor from when I helped him move last year. Kevin, I need your help with something. Sure, man. What do you need? Can you recover deleted messages from a phone? Depends on the phone. And if you have physical access. I have physical access. Technically, yes, but is it legal? It's my girlfriend. Joint bank account. Lease in my name. Legally, I have the right. I wasn't completely sure, but Kevin didn't ask any more questions. Bring me the phone tomorrow. I'll see what I can do. Thanks. I hung up and looked toward the bedroom. Sophie was asleep. I could hear her deep breathing from here. I got up and went to the kitchen. I made coffee even though it was almost 11 p.m. I wasn't going to sleep anyway. While the coffee was brewing, I took out my phone again. I searched for family lawyers near me. We weren't married, but we lived together. We had a joint account. She had things in my apartment. I had things at hers before we moved in together. I needed to know my options. I found 3 lawyers with good reviews. I sent them emails requesting consultations. Then I searched for signs of a toxic relationship. The first article listed 20 signs. Sophie met at least 12. Emotional manipulation, gaslighting, financial control, social isolation. How had I not seen it before? Because I was in love, because I trusted her, because I thought we were a team. My phone vibrated. A text from Marcus. How'd it go? Are you a fiancé yet? I didn't reply. Another message. Bro, you're keeping me in suspense. Spill. I wrote back. Nothing happened. We'll talk tomorrow. Everything okay? Yeah, just tired. Okay, tell me tomorrow. I took my coffee and went back to the laptop. I had to think this through carefully. Sophia expected me to propose and she would reject me. She wanted humiliation, she wanted control. But why? What did she gain from it? I thought about the conversation I had heard. He needs to learn that not everything happens when he wants it to. When had I ever been demanding? I worked, I paid my bills, I contributed to the apartment, I treated her well. Or so I thought. Maybe for her my mistake was loving her too much, being too stable, too predictable. Maybe she needed drama. Well, she wasn't going to get it from me. I opened a new document on my laptop. I started to write. Plan to end relationship with Sophia Morrison. Step 1. Gather evidence of suspicious behavior. Step 2. Gradually separate finances. Step 3. Consult with a lawyer. Step 4. Find a new apartment. Step 5. End the relationship cleanly. Step 6. Block all contact. I read it 3 times. It sounded cold, calculated. But she had been cold. I saved the document with a password, then closed the laptop. It was 2 a.m. I still wasn't sleepy. I went to the window and looked out at the city, the lights from the buildings, the cars passing by. Somewhere out there was someone who would love me for real. Someone who wouldn't plan to humiliate me. Someone who would value what I had to offer. Sophie was not that person. And the sooner I accepted that, the sooner I could heal. I took the ring from the table, looked at it one last time, then put it away in my desk drawer. I wouldn't return it yet. I needed to wait for the right moment. Because if I had learned anything tonight, it was that timing is everything. And my time was about to come. On Monday, I got to the office early. Sophie was still asleep when I left the apartment. I left her a note in the kitchen. Early meeting. See you tonight. At my desk, I checked my emails. 3 lawyers had replied. I scheduled consultations with all 3 for that week. Marcus showed up with 2 coffees. Tell me everything. Why didn't you propose? I changed my mind. What? You've been planning this for months. Things change. Daniel, what happened? I looked at him. Marcus had been my best friend since college. I trusted him, but I couldn't tell him everything yet. I need to look into something first. Then I'll tell you. That sounds bad. Maybe it is. Marcus sat in the chair across from my desk. Did Sophie do something? I'm not sure yet. That's why I need to investigate. Do you need help? No, but thanks. Marcus left without pushing further. That was one of the reasons we were friends. He knew when to let things go. At 10 a.m. Kevin called me. Bring me the phone on your lunch break. I have a program that can recover deleted messages from the last 3 months. How long does it take? An hour if you're lucky. 2 if it's complicated. Perfect. The problem was getting Sophie's phone. She always had it with her. I sent her a text. Want to do lunch today? We can go to that Italian place you like. She replied in 5 minutes. Can't. Lunch with the girls from work. Tomorrow? Sure. Fine. If she was with the girls from work, her phone would be on the table while they ate. Impossible to take it. I thought of another option. I called Sophie. Hey babe. Hi, is everything okay? Yeah. Hey, did you leave your charger in my car? I think I saw one this morning. No, mine's right here with me. Maybe it's yours. Ah, you're right. Well, see you tonight. Okay. Love you. You too. Lie after lie. That's how things work now. That afternoon, I had my first consultation with a lawyer. His name was Richard Torres, 50s, elegant office. Tell me about your situation, he said, hands folded on his desk. I explained everything. The 4-year relationship, the apartment in my name, the joint account, the conversation I heard. Do you have children? Are you married? No. Then legally it's simple. You can end the relationship whenever you want. But the joint account is complicated. How so? She's entitled to half of what's in there. Unless you can prove the money is yours. I have proof of all my deposits. That helps. She deposits too. A little. Maybe 20% of the total. Document everything. Every transaction. Especially the suspicious withdrawals. I've already started. Richard nodded. Good. My advice is to open a new account, transfer your money gradually, not all at once, or she'll notice. And the apartment is in your name. She is a verbal tenant. She has 30 days to vacate after an official notice. I need an official notice? It's the safest way. Avoids legal trouble. I took notes on everything. The consultation cost $200. It was worth every penny. That night, Sophie came home late. It was almost 9. How was your lunch? I asked. Good. The girls say hi. Did you go to the usual place? Yeah. The cafe near the office. A lie. Her location on our shared GPS showed a restaurant 20 minutes from her work. An expensive one. I had checked it in the afternoon. What did you have? A salad. I'm trying to eat healthier. Good idea. Sophie sat on the couch. Daniel, we need to talk. My stomach tightened. About what? About whatever is going on with you. You've been weird since Friday. I told you I'm tired. It's not just tiredness. Something changed. It's work. Work is fine. Then what? I looked at her. She was still beautiful. It still hurt to look at her, but the pain was different now. Sophie, are you happy in this relationship? She blinked. What kind of question is that? A simple one. Are you happy? Of course I am. Why wouldn't I be? I don't know. You tell me. Daniel, you're confusing me. What are you getting at? Nowhere. Just asking. Sophie stood up. You know what? I'm tired. It's been a long day. If there's something you want to tell me, say it. If not, I'm going to bed. There's nothing to say. Fine. She went to the bedroom. I stayed on the couch. 5 minutes later, my phone vibrated. A text from an unknown number. Daniel, it's Madison, Sophie's sister. Can we talk? I replied. Sure. What's up? Not over text. Can you call me? I went out to the balcony and called her. Madison, is everything okay? I'm not sure, that's why I'm calling. She paused. What happened on Sunday? Sophie came home upset. She said you ruined dinner. I didn't ruin anything. I know, that's why I'm calling. Something doesn't add up. What do you mean? Sophia has been acting weird. She's been going out a lot lately, spending money she doesn't have. And on Sunday before you arrived, she was nervous, like she was expecting something. Expecting what? I don't know. But when you left early, she got furious. She called someone and spoke in a low voice. I didn't hear everything, but she mentioned your name several times. Do you know who she was talking to? No, but it wasn't anyone from the family. I processed the information. Sophie was upset because I didn't propose. That confirmed what I already knew. Madison, why are you telling me this? Because I care about you, and because my sister sometimes does things without thinking about the consequences. I just wanted you to know that something is going on. Thank you. Are you going to tell me what it is? Not yet. But soon. I hung up and went back inside. Sophie was in bed with her phone. When I walked in, she hid it under her pillow. Who were you talking to? She asked. Marcus. About work. Oh. I got in the shower. The hot water didn't help me relax. My mind kept working, planning, calculating. When I got out, Sophie was already asleep, or pretending to be. I lay down on my side of the bed we had shared for 3 years. 3 years of my life that I now questioned entirely. My phone vibrated with a text. Marcus, you sure you're okay? You can tell me anything. We'll talk tomorrow, I promise. Okay, man. I'm here. I turned off my phone and closed my eyes, but I didn't sleep. The next day, I got to the office at 7 a.m. No one else was there yet. I opened my laptop and Googled Sophie's name. Nothing unusual, her LinkedIn, her public Instagram, her Facebook. Then I searched for Samantha, her best friend, the one on the call. Her Instagram was public. Pictures of trips, pictures with friends, pictures with Sophie. A picture from 3 days ago. Sophie and Samantha at a bar. The caption read, "Girls' night, we needed this." I was home that day. Sophie told me she had a headache and went to bed early. Another lie. I checked more photos. I found something interesting. A photo from 2 months ago. Sophie at a dinner with people I didn't recognize. All men. One of them had his arm around her. Samantha's caption read, "Networking. My girls know how to move." Networking. Sophie worked in human resources for a small company. She didn't need to network with men in suits. I saved the photo. Then I searched for the man in the photo. He was tagged. Brandon Chun, CEO of a tech startup. His profile showed pictures of his company, his success, his wealth. And there was a picture with Sophie from a month ago at an industry event. Sophie never mentioned that event. I started to understand. Sophie wasn't just planning to reject me. She had options. Men with more money, more success, more status. I was her plan B, her backup while she looked for something better. The pain in my chest turned into something cold. Calculated. Fine, two could play that game, and I had just discovered her cards. Kevin called me at 10 a.m. I have news. Can you come now? Give me 30 minutes. I arrived at his place. Kevin worked from home, an apartment full of computers and monitors. Sit down. This is interesting. He showed me his screen. Recovered messages from Sophie's phone. Hundreds of them. How did you get her phone? Kevin asked. This morning she said she was going to shower. I took it for 5 minutes. 5 minutes was enough. Kevin opened a folder. These are the messages with Samantha from the last 3 months. I started to read. Sophie to Samantha 2 months ago. Brandon invited me to dinner again. I don't know if I should go. Samantha. Why not? Daniel doesn't have to know. Sophie, you're right. It's just networking. A week later. Sophie, Brandon offered me a job at his company. Triple my current salary. Samantha. Are you going to take it? Sophie, I don't know. I'd have to move to San Francisco. Samantha. And Daniel? Sophie, he doesn't fit into that world. Brandon is different. Successful, powerful. Samantha. Would you leave him? Sophie, maybe. But I need to be sure first. I stopped. The words burned. Kevin continued. There's more. This is from 3 weeks ago. Sophie to Samantha. Daniel is planning to propose. His friend Marcus asked him about the ring. Samantha. What are you going to do? Sophie, reject him. I need him to understand that he doesn't control me. Samantha, that's cruel. Sophie, it's necessary. If I accept now, I'll never be able to leave. He needs to know I have options. Samantha. And after the rejection? Sophie, I'll see how he reacts. If he becomes submissive, maybe I'll stay. If he gets angry, I have Brandon waiting. I closed my eyes. Every word was a blow. Do you want to see more? Kevin asked. Yes. He showed me messages between Sophie and Brandon. They started 4 months ago. Brandon. It was great meeting you at the event. Lunch this week? Sophie, I'd love that. Brandon. Wednesday? I know a discreet place. Sophie, perfect. The messages continued. They saw each other every week. Every week, the conversations became more intimate. Brandon sent her gifts, flowers, expensive chocolates, a gold bracelet. Sophie never mentioned any of it. Is there anything else? Kevin said. Deleted messages from 2 days ago. Sunday night. Sophie to Samantha. He didn't propose. Something went wrong. Samantha. Do you think he suspects something? Sophie, I don't know. He was weird all night. His dad asked me if we were having problems. Samantha. What did you tell him? Sophie, that Daniel was stressed from work. But something doesn't add up. He acted different. Samantha. Maybe he just got scared. Sophie, or maybe he knows something. I need to find out. Kevin looked at me. Are you okay? Yeah. Can you print all this out? Already did. It's in that envelope. I took the envelope. Felt heavy like solid evidence. How much do I owe you? Nothing. We're friends. Kevin, this is professional work. It's fine. Just promise me you'll take care of yourself. I will. I left his place with the envelope under my arm. In my car, I opened it and read everything again. It wasn't just an emotional affair. It was planning, manipulation, calculated cruelty. Sophie saw me as a toy, something she could use and discard when she found something better. My phone rang. It was her. Where are you? You said we'd have lunch today. I forgot. I'm with a client. Daniel, you promised me. I know. I'm sorry. Tomorrow. Forget it. I'll eat alone. She hung up annoyed. Good. Let her be annoyed. It didn't matter to me anymore. I drove to the bank. I opened a new account, solely in my name. I transferred half the money from our joint account $5,000. The teller gave me a strange look. Are you sure? That's a lot of money. Completely sure. Then I went to look at apartments. I found one 15 minutes from my work, 2 bedrooms, good location, available in 2 weeks. I'll take it, I told the agent. Don't you want to think about it? I don't need to think about it. I signed the lease, paid the deposit and first month's rent another $3,000. When I got back to the office, Marcus was waiting for me. Okay, that's enough. Tell me what's going on. I took him to an empty conference room. I showed him everything, the recording, the messages, the photos. Marcus didn't say anything for 5 minutes, just looked at the papers. Finally he spoke. Man, I'm sorry. Don't be sorry. Now I know. What are you going to do? End this. But on my terms. Do you need help? Maybe. I'm not sure yet. Marcus squeezed my shoulder. Whenever you need it, just tell me. That night I got home at 10. Sophie was watching TV. You're late, she said without looking at me. I had a lot of work. You always have a lot of work lately. I sat down next to her. Sophie, do you remember Brandon Chan? She tensed up almost imperceptibly, but I noticed. Who? Brandon Chan, CEO of Tech Vision. I don't know anyone by that name. Are you sure? I thought you went to an event at his company. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. I must have been mistaken. Sophie looked at me suspiciously. Why are you asking about him? A client mentioned him. Said he was looking for HR staff. I thought maybe you'd be interested. I'm not interested in changing jobs. Got it. I turned my attention back to the TV. Sophie kept staring at me. I could feel her eyes on me. Daniel, are you watching me? Why would I do that? I don't know. You've been asking weird questions lately. I'm just asking. There's nothing weird about it. I feel like you don't trust me. I looked at her directly. Should I trust you? Of course. We're a couple. You're right. I'm sorry. I got up and went to the bedroom. Sophie stayed in the living room. I checked my email on my phone. One of the lawyers had sent me a draft of a legal eviction letter. Formal, effective. I replied, perfect. I'll use it in 2 weeks. Another email was from the apartment agent. All set. You can move in on the 1st of the month. That was 10 days away. Sophie came into the bedroom an hour later. She got into bed. I pretended to be asleep. She took out her phone and started typing. The screen lit up her face. She was typing fast, probably to Samantha, probably telling her about my questions. Good. Let her worry. The next day, Friday, I told Sophie I had to travel for work over the weekend. Where to? Chicago. Presentation with a new client. When are you back? Sunday night. Can I come with you? It's a work trip. I'll just be in meetings. You'd be bored. I wasn't going to Chicago. I was going to stay with Marcus. I needed space to think and plan my next steps. On Friday afternoon, I packed a small bag. Sophie watched me from the bedroom doorway. Are you sure I can't come? I'm sure. But I'll make it up to you when I get back. Okay. I kissed her on the cheek. She expected more. She always expected more. But I couldn't give her anything anymore. At Marcus's place, I unloaded everything. Every detail, every plan. It's brilliant, Marcus said. But are you sure? There's no going back after this. I'm sure. And your heart is ready? My heart has suffered enough. Now it's my head's turn. Marcus nodded. Then let's do this right. We spent the weekend planning every move, every detail, every contingency. By Sunday night, everything was ready. All that was left was to execute the plan. And that would start Monday morning. On Monday, I arrived at the office with a clear purpose. Sophie thought I had traveled to Chicago. In reality, I had spent the weekend planning my exit. At 9 a.m., I received an email from HR, departmental meeting, conference room B, 10 a.m. I went up to the 3rd floor. The room was full. My boss, Robert, was at the front. Good morning, everyone. I want to introduce our new consultant. She'll be helping us improve our processes. This is Andrea Ruiz. A woman in her 30s entered the room. Dark hair pulled back in a ponytail. Professional gray suit. No excessive makeup. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'll be working with you for the next 6 weeks. Her voice was clear, confident, no fakeness. During the meeting, Andrea explained her methodology: individual interviews, process analysis, specific recommendations. I'll start with the team leaders. Daniel Martinez, can we talk after the meeting? Of course. When everyone else had left, Andrea sat down across from me. Your boss says you're the best in your area. A 20% increase in sales this year. I just do my job. Most people just do the minimum. You do more. She took out a notebook. Why? Because if I do things right, I don't have to worry. Interesting answer. She wrote something down. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Honestly, I don't know. A week ago I had a plan. Now everything has changed. Andrea looked up. Personal issues? You could say that. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to, but sometimes talking helps. I looked at her. There was something genuine about her. No hidden agenda, just real interest. I found out my girlfriend is emotionally cheating on me with another man. She was planning to publicly reject me when I proposed. All for control. Andrea wasn't surprised, just nodded. And what are you going to do? End the relationship. But strategically, without drama. That's very mature. Most people would act on impulse. Impulse doesn't solve anything, it just makes things worse. Andrea smiled slightly. I like you, Daniel. You're direct. I'm just telling the truth. We talked for another hour about work, about processes, about goals. When we finished, Andrea gave me her card. If you need to talk about personal stuff, here's my number. Sometimes a stranger understands better than a friend. Thanks. And Daniel, whoever did that to you doesn't deserve another minute of your time. I know. At my desk, I put the card away. Marcus appeared with 2 coffees. How was the meeting? Good. The new consultant seems professional. Andrea. Yeah. I talked to her yesterday. Direct. No nonsense. Exactly. My phone vibrated. A text from Sophie. How's Chicago? I miss you. I replied. Meetings all day. Exhausting. I'll call you tonight. Okay. I love you. I didn't reply to that. Marcus noticed my expression. Her. Yeah. Still acting like nothing's wrong. When are you executing the plan? This weekend. I have everything ready. Do you need me to be there? No, but thanks. That afternoon I had another session with Andrea, this time about my specific projects. Impressive, she said, reviewing my numbers. Have you always been this organized? Always. My mother used to say I was obsessive. It's not obsession, it's discipline. She closed her laptop. Can I ask you something personal? Go ahead. Your girlfriend, the one planning to reject you. Why would she do that? You're successful, stable, responsible. Because she found someone with more money, more status. I was her plan B. So, is she foolish or calculating? Same difference. Andrea leaned back in her chair. You know what I notice about you? You're hurt, not destroyed. You're planning, not getting revenge. You're sad but not desperate. And that's good. It's rare. Most people in your situation would do crazy things. You just want to get out with your dignity. Because dignity is the one thing no one can take from me. Andrea smiled. I definitely like you. That night Sophie called me 3 times. I didn't answer any of them. I texted her. In a meeting with the client. I'll call you later. I never called her. On Wednesday, Andrea and I had lunch in the office cafeteria. We talked mostly about work but also about other things. Do you have family here? I asked. No, I moved here 6 months ago. Divorce. I needed a change. I'm sorry. Don't be. It was for the best. He was controlling, jealous, manipulative. How long were you married? 5 years. The last 2 were hell. How did you know it was time to leave? Andrea took a sip of her coffee. When I realized I'd rather be alone than with him. When silence was better than his company. I understand that feeling. That's why I recognized you when you talked about your girlfriend. I saw that same look in the mirror a year ago. And you're better now? Much better. I have my own apartment, my job, my peace. Sounds good. It is. And you'll be fine too. You just have to take the step. I went back to my desk thinking about her words. Andrea was right. I just had to take the step. On Thursday, Sophia showed up at my office unannounced. "Surprise," she said with a forced smile. "What are you doing here? I missed you. I thought we could have lunch. I have a meeting in 10 minutes. Daniel, you've been avoiding me all week." "I'm not avoiding you, I'm just busy." Sophie came closer. "Are you mad at me?" "No." "Then why are you acting like this?" "I'm not acting any way." She took my hand. "Babe, talk to me. What's wrong?" "Nothing's wrong. Everything is fine. Don't lie to me. I know you. I have to go to my meeting." "Daniel, what is it? Do you still love me?" The question hit me. 2 weeks ago, I would have said yes without hesitation. Now the words wouldn't come out. "I have to go." I left before she could respond. Sophie stayed in my office. Marcus saw her leave 10 minutes later. She looked upset. "Good. Doesn't bother you anymore?" "Not anymore." On Friday, Andrea invited me for coffee after work. We went to a quiet place near the office. "Last formal session," she said. "But I wanted to say goodbye properly." "Are you done with the evaluation already?" "Yes, I'll submit the report next week. And after that, I have another project in Boston. I'm leaving on Monday." Something in my chest tightened. I didn't expect to feel that. "I understand. But..." Andrea took out her phone. "I'd like to stay in touch. If that's okay with you." "That's okay with me." We exchanged personal numbers. Andrea smiled. "Daniel, you're going to be fine. Trust me." "How are you so sure?" "Because you're the kind of man who gets up, who learns, who grows." She picked up her bag. "And when you're ready, there will be someone who values you. Someone real." "Thank you." "Don't thank me. Just promise me you won't go back to her." "I won't." "Good." We said goodbye in the parking lot. Andrea gave me a brief, professional but warm hug. "Take care, Daniel." "You too." I watched her drive away. Something had changed in me that week. It wasn't love. Not yet. But it was hope. Hope that there was life after Sophie. That night, I arrived at the apartment. Sophie was cooking. "I made your favorite," she said. "Chicken and potatoes." "Thanks. Can we talk after dinner?" "Sure." We ate in silence. Sophie tried to start a conversation, but I responded with monosyllables. After washing the dishes, we sat on the couch. "Daniel, I need to know what's going on." "Nothing is going on." "You're lying. You've been distant, cold, different." "Maybe I'm tired." "It's not just tiredness. It's like you don't love me anymore." I looked at her. "And that worries you?" "Of course it worries me. You're my boyfriend." "Your boyfriend? Or your backup option?" Sophie turned pale. "What did you say?" "Nothing." "Forget it." "You didn't say nothing, you said something about a backup option." "What does that mean?" "It means I'm tired, Sophie." Just that. She didn't believe me, but she didn't press further. That night I slept on the couch. And on Saturday the end would begin. On Saturday I woke up early. Sophie was still sleeping. I made coffee and took out the envelope with all the documents. Messages, photos, bank statements, the eviction letter. At 8 a.m. I called Mr. Morrison. "Daniel, what a surprise. Is everything okay? I need to talk to you today if possible." "Sure. Do you want to come to the house?" "I'd prefer a neutral place." "Do you know the cafe on Main Street?" "Yes." "What time?" 10. "I'll be there." I hung up and left a note for Sophie. Went for a run. Back in a few hours. I got to the cafe 15 minutes early. Mr. Morrison arrived on time. "Coffee?" he asked. "I already ordered." "Thanks." We sat at a table away from the window. Mr. Morrison looked at me with concern. "What happened, Daniel?" I took out the envelope. "I need to show you something." I handed him the printed messages. He read them in silence. His expression changed from confusion to shock, then to disappointment. "Where did you get this?" "From Sophie's phone. I had them recovered." "This is..." "I can't believe it." I didn't want to believe it either, but it's real. Mr. Morrison read the messages again, especially the ones mentioning Brandon Chan. "Who is this man?" "CEO of a startup." Sophie met him 4 months ago. He offered her a job in San Francisco. And she was planning to leave you? After publicly rejecting me. She wanted to humiliate me first. Mr. Morrison put the papers on the table. He looked 10 years older. I'm sorry, Daniel. I didn't know my daughter was capable of this. Neither did I. What are you going to do? I've already done it. I moved my money. I got a new apartment. Today, I'm giving her the eviction letter. Eviction? The apartment is in my name. She has 30 days to leave. Mr. Morrison nodded slowly. It's the right thing to do. But it's going to hurt. I've already been hurt enough. Can I keep a copy of this? Her mother needs to know. Of course. I gave him a full copy. Mr. Morrison put it in his jacket. Daniel, I care about you. I always have. What Sophie did to you is unforgivable. Thanks for listening. Do you need anything? Help with the move? A place to stay? I'm fine. I have everything planned. We said goodbye in the parking lot. Mr. Morrison hugged me. You'll find someone better. Someone who values you. I hope so. I returned to the apartment at 11. Sophie was awake, drinking coffee in the kitchen. Where were you? You didn't go for a run. I had a meeting. On a Saturday? Yes. With whom? With your dad. Sophie almost dropped her coffee. What? Why? Because I needed to tell him something. Tell him what? I took out my copy of the envelope, put it on the kitchen table. The truth. Sophie opened the envelope, took out the papers, started to read. Her face went from confusion to panic, then to fury. You spied on me. I discovered your plan. This is an invasion of privacy. This is the truth. Sophie threw the papers. You're taking it all out of context. Those messages don't mean what you think. Really? Then explain what they mean. Samantha and I were just joking. Joking about rejecting me? About Brandon Chun? About using my money while you looked for something better? It's not like that. Then how is it? Sophie sat down, breathing fast, searching for words, for excuses, for lies. Daniel, I love you. You don't love me. You use me. That's not true. The messages say otherwise. The messages are out of context. Sophie, stop. I know everything. Brandon, the lunches, the job in San Francisco, your plan to reject me for control. She started to cry. I was confused, scared. I didn't know what I wanted. Now you do. And so do I. What does that mean? I took the eviction letter out of the envelope and handed it to her. You have 30 days to leave the apartment. Sophie read the letter. Tears fell onto the paper. You can't do this. Yes, I can. The apartment is in my name. Where will I go? Not my problem. Daniel, please. I made a mistake. It wasn't a mistake. It was a decision. Multiple decisions over months. Sophie stood up. She tried to touch my arm. I stepped back. Don't touch me. Babe, please. Can we fix this? There's nothing to fix. I love you. I really do. You don't know what love is. You only know how to manipulate. My phone rang. It was Marcus. Everything okay? He asked. Yeah, it's done. Do you need me to come over? No, I'm good. I hung up. Sophie looked at me with desperation. That was Marcus. He knows? He helped you. How many people know? Your dad, Marcus, and soon your mom too. You can't tell my mom. Your dad already has a copy of everything. He'll decide what to do. Sophie collapsed onto the couch. She was crying uncontrollably, but I felt nothing. Not pity, not pain, just emptiness. Daniel, give me another chance. I promise I'll change. You had 4 years of chances. Please no. I took my jacket. I'm leaving. When I come back tonight, I want you to be calm. You have 30 days. Use them well. Where are you going? That's no longer your business. I left the apartment. In my car, I took a deep breath. My hands were shaking slightly, not from fear, but from relief. I drove to Marcus's house. He opened the door before I could knock. How are you? Good. Surprisingly good. Did she cry a lot? Yeah. Did it make you change your mind? No. Marcus smiled. Good. Come in. I ordered pizza. We spent the afternoon watching sports. We didn't talk about SoFi, we didn't talk about the future. We just existed in the moment. At 7 p.m. I got a text from Madison. My dad told me everything. I'm so sorry. SoFi doesn't deserve your forgiveness. I replied, thanks for understanding. Are you okay? I will be. If you need anything, I'm here. I know. Thanks. Another text came in. It was Andrea. How's your weekend going? Interesting. I ended things with my girlfriend today. You did? Are you okay? Yes. It was necessary. Good. You're stronger than I thought. Or more tired of lies. Same difference. Do you want to talk? Maybe tomorrow. Today I just want to not think. I understand. I'm here if you need me. Thanks. I put the phone away. Marcus was looking at me. The consultant? Yeah. You like her? I don't know yet. But she's genuine. That's something. I went back to the apartment at 10. SoFi was in the bedroom, the door closed. I could hear sobs from the other side. Part of me wanted to comfort her, the part that had loved her for 4 years, but that part no longer had a voice. I lay down on the couch. I slept better than I had in weeks. On Sunday I woke up late. SoFi was in the kitchen making breakfast. I made you pancakes, she said in a hoarse voice. I'm not hungry. Daniel, we need to talk. We already talked, didn't we? We still need to talk. For real. I sat at the table. You have 5 minutes. SoFi sat across from me. Her eyes were red and swollen. You're right about everything. I used you, I lied to you. I planned horrible things and I'm sorry. Okay. Just okay? What else do you want me to say? That you forgive me? That you'll give me another chance? I can't do that. Why not? Because I don't trust you. And without trust, there's no relationship. I can earn your trust back. You can't. That takes years and I don't have years to give you anymore. SoFi looked down. So this is the end? Yes. We're not even going to try? There's nothing to try. She stood up and went to the bedroom. She closed the door. I stayed in the kitchen looking at the pancakes I wasn't going to eat. My phone vibrated. A text from Andrea. Good morning. Better today? A little. Want to get coffee? I'm staying in town an extra day. I'd love that. See you in an hour, same place. I showered and got dressed. SoFi came out of the bedroom as I was about to leave. Where are you going? To get coffee. With who? With a friend. What friend? You don't have female friends. I do now. I left before she could answer, and for the first time in weeks I smiled. 6 months later, the new apartment was fully furnished. 2 bedrooms, city view, everything clean, all mine. Marcus helped me hang the last painting in the living room. Looks good, man. Thanks for helping. Andrea's coming over in an hour, right? She got back from Boston yesterday. Yeah. Are you two serious? We're still figuring it out. But it's different. Good different. Marcus smiled. I'm glad to see you like this. 6 months ago you looked dead inside. 6 months ago I was dead inside. My phone rang. It was Madison. Daniel, you have a minute? Sure. I wanted to tell you something. SoFi didn't move to San Francisco with Brandon Chun. No. He rejected her when he found out the whole truth. Dad sent him the messages. Seriously? Yeah. Turns out Brandon has principles. He doesn't want someone who manipulates their partner. Ironic. SoFi got a job there anyway, but in a junior position. She's making less than she did here. And how is she? Alone. Regretful. But that's her problem now, not yours. You're right. Mom and Dad ask about you. They'd like to see you sometime. Maybe when I'm ready. I understand. Take care, Daniel. You too. I hung up and told Marcus. Brandon rejected her? That's justice. I wasn't looking for revenge, but the consequences came on their own. That's how karma works. Marcus left 30 minutes before Andrea arrived. I made coffee and took out a cake I had bought. When Andrea knocked on the door, my heart sped up a little. I opened it and there she was. Jeans and a sweater, hair down, genuine smile. Hi. Hi. Come on in. Andrea walked in and looked around. It's perfect. Exactly what you needed, away from all the old stuff. Exactly. We sat on the couch with coffee and cake. We talked about her project in Boston, about my promotion at work, about normal things. You know what the best part is? Andrea said. What? That I don't have to guess what you're thinking. You're direct, honest. I learned that lies only complicate everything. Good lesson. Andrea put her cup down. Daniel, I need to ask you something. Go ahead. Are you over Sophie? I thought about it honestly. Not completely. It still hurts sometimes. But it doesn't define me anymore. That's enough. Andrea took a deep breath. Because I want to try this, you and me. But I need to know you're ready. And if I'm not completely ready, then I'll wait. But I want to know if there's a chance. I looked at her. Andrea was everything Sophie wasn't. Genuine, direct, no games. There's a chance. But I need to go slow. Slow is fine. Andrea took my hand. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't perfect. It was just real. Want to watch a movie? I asked. I'd love to. We spent the afternoon watching comedies. Andrea fell asleep on my shoulder. I let her sleep. I didn't feel the need to move. When she woke up, it was already dark. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to fall asleep. Don't worry about it. Are you staying in the city this week? Yes. My next project starts Monday, but it's here in the city. Do you want to have dinner with me tomorrow? Yes. Andrea left an hour later. Before she left, she hugged me. Thanks for giving me a chance. Thanks for being patient. When I closed the door, I checked my phone. I had a message from an unknown number. It was Sophie. Daniel, I know you don't want to talk to me, but I need you to know that I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry. I ruined the best thing I had, and now I'm seeing the consequences. Brandon rejected me when he learned the truth. My parents are disappointed. Madison barely speaks to me. And you moved on. I heard you're dating someone. I'm happy for you. You really deserve someone who values you. I didn't, and now I'm paying the price. I don't expect a response. I just wanted you to know. I read the message 3 times. I felt something. It wasn't pain, it wasn't satisfaction. It was peace. I didn't reply. I didn't need to. I blocked the number and put my phone away. On Tuesday, I had dinner with Andrea at an Italian restaurant. She told me about her ex-husband. I told her more details about Sophie. You know what I learned from my divorce? Andrea said. What? That real love doesn't manipulate, doesn't control, doesn't play games. Exactly. And that you deserve someone who chooses you every day. Not because they need something from you, but because they want to be with you. Do you choose me every day? So far, yes. Andrea smiled. So let's try this for real. The following months were a revelation. Andrea and I saw each other 2 or 3 times a week. Always direct, always honest, no games. She never asked me to pay for everything. We shared expenses, we shared responsibilities, we shared a life. One Saturday, 6 months after our first official date, Andrea showed up at my apartment with a box. What's this? My stuff. If you still want me to move in with you. We had talked about it 2 weeks ago. Moving in with someone was a big step, but with Andrea it felt natural. Are you sure? Completely. We moved her things in that weekend. It wasn't dramatic, it wasn't complicated. It was just the next logical step. One afternoon, while we were organizing her clothes in the closet, Andrea found something in my desk drawer. What's this? It was the ring I had bought for Sophie. My mistake from the past. You kept it. I didn't know what to do with it. Returning it felt like admitting defeat. Throwing it away felt bitter. Andrea picked it up and looked at it. It's beautiful. It was. It doesn't mean anything anymore. Can I suggest something? Sure. Sell it. Use the money for something positive. A trip, a charity, anything but keeping it. She was right. The next day I sold it. I got back 70% of what I paid. I used the money to book a trip to Costa Rica for Andrea and me. A trip? Andrea asked when I showed her the tickets. You said you wanted to go. Yes, but this is necessary. I need to make new memories with you. Andrea hugged me. I love you. It was the first time she had said it. The words hit me, but not in a painful way, in a healing way. I love you too. And I meant it. It wasn't the desperate love I felt for Sophie. It was something quieter, more real, more lasting. A year after the day Sophie planned to reject me, I married Andrea. A small ceremony, just close friends and family. Marcus was my best man. Madison came and brought Mr. and Mrs. Morrison. They hugged me and congratulated me. "You did the right thing, Daniel," Mr. Morrison said. "This is the right woman." I know. Sophie wasn't invited. According to Madison, she was still in San Francisco alone, working a job she didn't like. I didn't feel satisfaction, just gratitude for having escaped. On our honeymoon in Costa Rica, Andrea and I walked on the beach. "Happy?" she asked. "Very happy. Do you ever think about her?" "Sometimes, but only as a lesson, not a regret." "What lesson?" "That real love doesn't hurt, doesn't manipulate, doesn't control." Andrea stopped and looked at me. "And this is real love?" "Yes, this is real love." We kissed with the sun setting behind us. It wasn't a movie scene. It was better. It was real. We came home a week later. The apartment felt like a home now, not just mine but ours. One night, while we were having dinner, Andrea said something that made me reflect. "You know what I'm grateful for from everything that happened with Sophie?" "What?" "That it prepared you to value me. If she hadn't hurt you, maybe you wouldn't appreciate what we have now." "You're right. But I didn't need to go through that to know you were special." "Maybe not, but the pain made you stronger, wiser. And your divorce prepared you for me." "Absolutely. It taught me what I don't want. And when I met you, I saw everything I do want." That night, lying next to Andrea, I thought about the whole journey, from that Friday when I heard Sophie plan my humiliation to this moment of absolute peace. I didn't seek revenge, I didn't scream, I didn't make a scene. I just left quietly, strategically, and in doing so I found something better. I didn't just find Andrea. I found myself. I found my worth, my dignity, my peace. And that was worth more than any dramatic revenge. Sophie lost everything looking for something better and ended up alone. I left everything looking for self-respect and ended up with everything that truly mattered. That was the real revenge. Not destroying her, but building a life so good that her rejection became the greatest favor she ever did for me. And as Andrea slept beside me, breathing softly, I knew that I had won. Not against Sophie but for myself.